Dreaming of a vacation, but your wallet is giving you a side eye? Let's fix that. Today I'm breaking down exactly how to budget for your next trip so you can travel stress-free without coming home broke. By the way, I saved some best budget tricks for the end, so make sure you're not missing those. Alright, before you even start fantasizing about sipping cocktails at the beach or climbing the Eiffel Tower like you've seen in all of those Instagram posts, let's address the most crucial part of any vacation planning. How much money do you actually have to spend? Not how much money you wish you had, not how much you could spend if you had a money tree in your backyard, but the cold hard cash that is sitting in your account, or will be once you put away those daily lattes money for a month. Here is how you figure that out. Let's be real, how much you had already set aside for this trip? If the answer is, well, I have enough for a bus ticket and a snack on the way, we've got some work to do. If you've been planning this vacation for months and haven't saved a dime, it might be the time to reconsider your priorities. On the other hand, if you've been a good little saver, give yourself a pat on the back, you're ahead of the game. Planning to make some extra cash by picking up extra shifts at work, babysitting your neighbor's annoying dog, or selling your collection of Beanie Babies? Fantastic. Factor that into your budget, but be realistic. Don't base your entire trip on the hope that you'll definitely get that promotion or totally sell the guitar collection this week. We are adults. We know life doesn't always go according to plan. Keep it grounded. Oh yes, the part of the vacation budget that we all pretend doesn't exist. Because who wants to think about emergency costs when you are dreaming of your perfect vacation? Well, my friend, I'm here to tell you that life has a funny way of throwing curveballs, especially when you are away from home. Flights get delayed, buses break down, or maybe you just really need that overpriced beach cocktail because you're on vacation, right? Having a backup fund, around 10 to 20% of your budget, will save you from crying into your luggage when the unexpected happens. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Once you have this number nailed down, you can actually plan your trip without the looming fear of your credit card bill that is higher than the Eiffel Tower when you get home. A clear, realistic budget gives you the freedom to have fun without stress of wondering how you'll pay rent when you return. Before you get lost in daydreams of sipping cocktails by the beach or pretending to be an influencer on the mountain top, let's pull you back to reality for a moment. You know, the part where your money actually needs to cover the things. Time to figure out where the bulk of your budget is going. Here is the rundown of the big ticket items that will get the biggest bites of your budget. And no, your daily frappuccino does not count in this category. Oh yes, the flight, the thing that determines if your vacation will be a budget-friendly getaway or if you will be living off ramen for the next 6 months after booking. Your best bet, get on those flight comparison websites like Google Flights or Skyscanner. Set up alerts and don't just wait for some magical deal to appear. Pro tip, book your flight as far in advance as possible. Last-minute bookings are what make travel agents and airlines rich and what make you cry when you see the price. Hotels are the classic route, but there are more affordable options if you are willing to get creative. You've got Airbnb, where you can rent everything from a spare bedroom to a mansion, if you really need a mansion. Why not? And don't forget hostels, which are a godsend for a budget-conscious traveler looking to meet fellow wanderers. But hey, if you really want to live on the edge, there is always couch surfing. But the real question is, how much do you trust your friend's private space on the couch? Alright, now you need to figure out how you're going to get from point A to point B. Will you need to rent a car because apparently public transportation is for peasants? Or will you just use your 2 feet like a true local? Public transport is usually your friend when you are traveling. It's cheap, efficient most of the time, and it helps you blend in like you totally know the subway system. Don't forget about rideshare apps like Uber or Lyft, but be mindful about how many times you accidentally hit that search pricing button when you're in a hurry. If you really want to save money though, dust off your walking shoes, throw on a hat and maybe sunglasses to hide your confusion when you inevitably get lost, and explore on foot. By identifying your biggest expenses early, you can avoid financial surprises and make smarter spending choices. Whether it's booking flights in advance, finding budget-friendly accommodation, or choosing the most cost-effective way to get around, a little planning goes along the way. Because let's be real, saving money on the big stuff means more money to spend on a fun stuff. Now it's time to address the sneaky low-key expenses that love to eat away at your budget when you're not looking. Here is where your cash can slip through the cracks faster than you can say what happened to my budget. Let's talk about food. Are you planning to live like a royalty, dining at 5-star restaurants every night, or are you all about the food street life where you can get a meal for the price of a mediocre cappuccino? Neither option is wrong unless you get food poisoning from that questionable taco, but it's important to figure out where your food budget is going. Sure, those fancy meals are Instagram worthy, but the street vendor offering you a kebab the size of your arm might be the cheaper and smarter choice. Next up, activities. Whether you're booking that extravagant boat tour, going ziplining, or just hanging out at a museum, you'll probably spend just 2 minutes in. Make sure you account for all of those fees. Entrance tickets, guided tours, museum admissions, they all can add up really quickly. Make sure you are budgeting for the fun stuff before you get swept away in the excitement of making a spontaneous decision to go on a helicopter ride, because YOLO. And then there is shopping. Look, we all know that shopping is a part of the vacation experience. Souvenirs, gifts for your loved ones, and that overpriced airport snack you swore you wouldn't buy, but totally will because you're starving and the vending machines just won't do. Suddenly that "I'll just grab a keychain" turns into a new wardrobe and a giant teddy bear. You'll be walking away with a bag full of memories and an empty wallet. At the end of the day, vacations should be about making memories, not stressing over where your money disappeared. By planning for daily expenses like food, activities, and shopping before you take off, you'll avoid that dreaded post-trip financial regret. Because the best souvenir you can bring home is a great experience, not a maxed out credit card. You've probably heard the saying, "the early bird catches the worm," and while this may sound like something your grandma says while sipping the tea, it's actually shockingly true when it comes to planning a vacation. Planning your trip well in advance can open up a treasure chest of savings that you might miss if you wait until the last minute or until you've already maxed out your credit card. Let's dive into the areas where early planning actually makes the difference. It's easy to forget, but timing really is everything. If you are flexible with when you travel, consider going during those off-peak seasons or booking those weekday flights. That's when the prices drop and you get to avoid the stampede of families and tourists who think summer vacation is a universal truth. Trust me, the fewer people you have to elbow out of the way at a major attraction, the more enjoyable your trip will be. Here is a hot tip: locking in your destination early gives you more option. And here is the kicker: better rates. Waiting until the last minute means you'll be fighting for the scraps, and no one wants that. Plus, with extra time on your hands, you can research cheap, quirky, and off-the-beaten-path activities that won't cost you an arm and a leg. I'm talking about those hidden gems that no one tells you about, like the beach where the drinks are cheap and there is no Instagram influencer inside. I know what you're thinking. Package deals? Nah, that's just a scam. Well, think again. Sometimes bundling travel accommodation and activities into one convenient package can actually save you more than booking everything separately. Plus, you get the joy of having everything handled with one payment, which means you don't have to constantly check your bank balance every time you click confirm booking. At the end of the day, planning ahead isn't just about saving money, it's about giving yourself peace of mind. By booking early, picking the right travel dates, and considering package deals, you're setting yourself up for a trip that is stress-free and budget-friendly. Because the only thing is better than a great vacation is knowing you got the best deal possible and still have cash left over for that extra cocktail at the beach. Let's face it, if you are not using travel loyalty programs and credit card rewards, you're basically paying the full price for a vacation, and who wants that? These rewards are like the cheat codes of travel. Just by swiping your card, you're earning perks that can significantly lower your trip's price tag. It's like getting paid to go on a vacation. Well, kind of. Every time you use your credit card for regular purchases, gas, groceries, that random Amazon order you generally need, you're accumulating points. It might seem like a small amount at first, but before you know it, those points can get you free flights or hotel discounts. The trick is to use the travel rewards card responsibly. Only spend what you can afford to pay off in full each month, so you're not paying interest and canceling out your savings. But the magic doesn't stop with just credit card rewards. Hotel and airline loyalty programs are the gold mines. Got a favorite hotel chain? Rack up points every time you stay, and those points will eventually lead to free nights or discounted rates. Book with the same airline enough and you'll find yourself in the front of the plane sipping free drinks while everyone else fights for overhead bin space. Many programs even offer status perks like priority boarding, room upgrades, or even free checked bags, which can save you hundreds over time. Not all redemption options are created equal. Some points are worth more when used for flights rather than cashback, while others offer better value when transferred to hotel or airline partners. Before you redeem, check for the best value. You might be able to stretch those points further by booking through specific travel portals or transferring them to partner programs. A little bit of research can mean an extra free night at a hotel or a business class upgrade for the same amount of points. By using the right travel rewards credit cards, joining hotel and airline loyalty programs, and strategically earning and redeeming points, you can slash your vacation costs significantly. So before you book your next trip, check your points, look for bonus offers, and start taking advantage of the rewards that are sitting right in front of you. Because if there is one thing better than a vacation, it's a discounted vacation. Our hidden fee is the travel industry's version of a bad surprise party. It's like when you book a flight and think you've got the best price, only to find out that now you own an arm and a leg for the checked bags, seat selection, and oh, surprise, the premium charge for the privilege of using the bathroom during the flight. Here are some of the sneakiest fees to watch out for so you can plan ahead and not end up crying into your overpriced hotel coffee. The classic: you find the cheap flight only to get hit with baggage fees or priority boarding because apparently getting on the plane 30 seconds earlier is worth $50. If you can, try to fly with airlines that offer more inclusive fares. Check if your ticket includes baggage or if you can avoid those annoying add-ons. You think you found the perfect hotel deal, but then you get to the counter and surprise, there is a resort fee, even though you're not going anywhere near a resort. A cleaning fee, a destination fee, because, well, you know, it's a destination. Always double check the fine print and ask upfront if there are any hidden fees before booking. Just when you thought you had your road trip planned, the rental company hits you with the fees for insurance, extra mileage, gas refills, or GPS. Really? If you don't want to feel like you are being robbed in a broad daylight, read the rental agreement carefully and ask about all potential fees. That free museum tour you are eyeing? Check again. Some so-called free attractions charge you for things like entry or audio guides, or, why not, for breathing the air inside. Always research the true costs of activities and see if you can get combo tickets for discounts. Bottom line, don't let hidden fees sneak up on you and wreck your well-planned budget. Be proactive and ask questions before booking. After all, it's your vacation, not the airline or hotel's chance to make your wallet lighter. Let's be honest, budgeting is great and all, but who wants to track every penny like it's 1999? Thankfully, we live in the golden age of technology where budgeting apps and travel websites can do the heavy lifting for us. These tools don't just help you stay on budget, they make sure you don't come home with an empty wallet and a suitcase full of regrets. Let's start with budgeting apps. They take the hustle out of tracking expenses so you don't have to manually jot everything down. Splitwise. Traveling with friends? This app ensures you are not stuck paying for everyone's fancy dinner. Split bills, track who owes what, and avoid awkward money conversations. You need a budget, perfect for control freaks. In a good way. It makes sure every dollar has a job so you don't blow your travel fund on an overpriced airport snacks. Pocket Guard tells you exactly how much you can spend without going broke. It's like a reality check, but in an app form. When it comes to finding the best deals, these travel websites are an absolute game changers. Skyscanner compares flights so you don't have to. Finds the cheapest, fastest, or most comfortable option. Rome to Rio tells you the cheapest and fastest way to get anywhere, whether it's by train, bus, or a magic carpet. Okay, maybe not the last one. Booking.com, great for hotels, hostels, and last-minute deals. Because sleeping on a park bench is not an adventure. When you are traveling internationally, figuring out the exchange rates can feel like you are solving the math problem in a foreign language. Luckily, currency converter apps can make it easy to understand the value of your money so you're not accidentally overpaying or under-tipping. XE Currency provides real-time exchange rates so you won't accidentally tip your waiter a week's salary. OANDA converts currency and even offers historical rates, perfect for seeing how much you could have saved or spent differently. Whether you're tracking daily expenses, finding the best deals, or keeping an eye on exchange rates, these tools help you stay in control and avoid financial surprises. By using them, you can spend more time enjoying your trip and less time stressing over your spending. All in all, budgeting for a vacation doesn't mean killing the fun, it means making sure you can afford the fun without selling your kidney when you get home. Plan ahead, track your expenses, and be smart with your spending so you actually can enjoy the trip without stressing over your bank balance. Because the only thing you should be bringing back from a vacation is a great memories, not debt. By the way, I have even more budget tricks for my travelers. I will leave the link down below in the description. Watch that next, and I'll see you in the next week with more budget tips.